What does silence mean to you? Are you the quiet person observing calmly during stressful situations? Or do you immediately speak and always have something to say? Silence is more than just not talking. It's a powerful tool that can show strength, self-control, and wisdom. In this video, in 13 powerful lessons, we'll dive into how Stoic silence can be your secret weapon at work. From handling heated meetings to making a big impact without saying a word, we'll show you real-life examples of how to master the art of silence and stand out in your workplace. Welcome to Level Stoic channel. Let's get started. 1. Active listening. Let's start with the Stoic principle of active listening. Silence enhances your ability to listen and understand. The Stoics believed that by keeping quiet, you could focus better on what others are saying and truly understand their point of view. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Therefore, we should listen twice as much as we speak." This quote beautifully encapsulates a core Stoic principle: the value of listening over speaking. Listening twice as much as we speak allows us to be more mindful and deliberate in our communication. It shows respect for others and demonstrates our willingness to consider their views. Think about a one-on-one meeting with a colleague or your supervisor. Instead of thinking about what you're going to say next, try practicing active listening. This means making eye contact with the person speaking, nodding to show you're following along, and most importantly, not interrupting them. When you actively listen, you show the other person that you respect them and value their input. This can lead to better collaboration because the person feels heard and understood. It also helps you gather more information and understand the situation better, which is super helpful for problem solving. So next time you're in a conversation, remember that silence isn't just about not talking. It's about making space to really listen and connect. In the next chapters, we will dive into practical examples of how Stoic principles can be applied in the workplace to navigate challenging situations with grace and wisdom. Before we continue, I encourage you to comment below with your thoughts and experiences on staying silent in the work environment. Share this video with your colleagues who may benefit from these insights. And don't forget to hit the like button if you find this content valuable. Stay tuned until the end for more practical examples that you can apply to your own work environment. Let's continue. 2. Thoughtful communication. Speak less, but with intention. This means you should choose your words carefully and only speak when you have something meaningful to say. The Stoics believed that silence allows for reflection, and this reflection makes your words more powerful. For example, imagine you're in a team meeting at work. Everyone is throwing out ideas and opinions. Instead of jumping in right away, take a moment to really listen to what everyone is saying. Pay attention to the different perspectives and think about what you can add that's truly valuable. When you do decide to speak, your words will stand out because they are well thought out and intentional. Instead of just adding to the noise, you'll provide insights that can steer the conversation in a more meaningful direction. This not only shows that you're considerate and thoughtful, but also earns you more respect from your colleagues. By speaking less and listening more, you make sure that when you do speak, people listen. 3. Think twice before you speak. Zeno of Citium once said, "Better to trip with the feet than the tongue." This quote underscores the Stoic belief that physical missteps are far less damaging than verbal ones. In a work context, this means that making a physical mistake, like spilling coffee, is minor compared to saying something thoughtless or harmful. Words can have lasting impacts, affecting relationships and reputations. Therefore, it's essential to think before you speak. For example, imagine you're in a meeting and someone suggests an idea that you think is bad. Instead of immediately saying something negative, take a moment to think. If you still feel the need to respond, do it in a way that's respectful and constructive. Maybe say, "I see where you're coming from, but have we considered this other option?" This way, you avoid conflict and show that you value everyone's input. Or, Let's say a co-worker makes a mistake on a project. Instead of quickly pointing out what they did wrong, take a second to choose your words. You could say, "I noticed this part didn't go as planned. Let's figure out how to fix it together." This approach prevents unnecessary arguments and shows that you're supportive and team-oriented. By being careful with your words, you create a positive work environment where people feel respected and valued. Remember, it's easier to recover from a small physical mistake than to fix the damage caused by careless words. 4. Composure under pressure. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once remarked, "Silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings." This quote reflects the Stoic belief in the transformative power of silence, especially in the face of adversity and hardship. Seneca suggests that silence, often born out of contemplation and endurance during challenging times, teaches us valuable lessons about resilience, self-awareness, and inner strength. In moments of suffering, when words may fail to adequately express our experiences or alleviate our pain, silence can offer solace and wisdom. So, let's talk about composure under pressure. The Stoic principle here is all about maintaining calm and control in stressful situations. The Stoics believe that staying composed, even when things are falling apart, is a true mark of strength. Imagine a project at work goes off track and everyone starts panicking. People are talking over each other and the stress levels are through the roof. Instead of adding to the chaos, take a moment of silence to collect your thoughts before you speak. This brief pause allows you to assess the situation clearly and figure out the best way to address the problem. When you remain calm, it has a ripple effect. Your calm demeanor can help de-escalate the situation, making it easier for everyone to think clearly and find solutions. Plus, your team will likely look to you as a stabilizing force, someone who can keep it together even when things get tough. So by staying composed and taking a moment of silence, you can turn a stressful situation into an opportunity for effective problem solving. 5. No need for small talk. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, once advised, "Be silent for the most part, or, if you speak, say only what is necessary and in a few words. Talk, but rarely, if occasion calls you, but do not talk of ordinary things, of gladiators or horse races or athletes or of meats or drinks. These are topics that arise everywhere." This quote emphasizes the importance of meaningful communication over idle chatter. Epictetus encourages us to be mindful of our words, speaking only when necessary and avoiding trivial topics that add little value to conversation. In a work setting, this means focusing on discussions that contribute to productivity and collaboration. Instead of engaging in small talk about superficial topics like the latest TV shows or weekend plans, prioritize conversations that are relevant to work goals and objectives. For example, during a team meeting, instead of veering off into unrelated topics, stay focused on the agenda and discuss ideas that contribute to problem-solving and decision-making. If you do speak, make sure your contributions are concise and pertinent to the discussion at hand. By following Epictetus's advice, you create a work environment where communication is purposeful and meaningful, fostering productivity and efficiency. 6. Strategic nonverbal communication. Now, let's dive into strategic nonverbal communication. According to Stoic principles, you can communicate a lot without saying a word. It's all about using body language to show respect and attentiveness. Picture yourself in a meeting. Even if you're not speaking, you can still contribute by using nonverbal cues. Nodding while someone is talking shows that you're engaged and following along. Maintaining eye contact lets the speaker know you're paying attention and valuing what they're saying. These small gestures can have a big impact. By using these non-verbal cues, you create a supportive atmosphere. People feel heard and appreciated, which can boost team morale and foster better collaboration. Plus, it shows that you're a thoughtful and respectful communicator, even in silence. So, next time you're in a meeting, remember that your body language can speak volumes, aligning perfectly with Stoic principles. 7. Reflective decision-making. Let's talk about reflective decision-making. A key Stoic principle is to reflect before you act or speak. This is super important in today's fast-paced work environment. Imagine you receive a challenging email that triggers an immediate emotional reaction. Instead of firing off a quick reply, take a moment of silence. Step away from your computer if you need to. This brief pause gives you time to cool down and think things through. Reflect on what the best response would be, considering all angles and the potential outcomes. By taking this moment of silence, you can craft a thoughtful and strategic response. This not only shows maturity and self-control, but also helps avoid unnecessary conflict. It's about making sure your actions and words are deliberate and well-considered, just like the Stoics would advise. So next time you're faced with a tough decision or a stressful situation, remember to pause, reflect, and then act. 8. Stoic principle of humility through silence. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, advised, "Be silent as to services you have rendered, but speak of favors you have received." This quote highlights the Stoic principle of humility and gratitude. In our work lives, this means not bragging about our own contributions, but instead acknowledging and appreciating the help we've received from others. By staying humble about our own achievements and being vocal about the support and favors we've received, we foster a positive and collaborative work environment. When you talk less about your own successes and more about the contributions of your colleagues, you build trust and respect. This practice not only enhances team morale, but also shows that you value and recognize the efforts of others. It's about shifting the focus from yourself to the team, creating a culture where everyone's contributions are appreciated and acknowledged. This approach can strengthen relationships, boost team spirit, and encourage a supportive atmosphere where people are more willing to help and collaborate. 9. Building trust through silence. Let's dive into building trust through silence. A key Stoic principle is that silence can build trust and respect. This is especially true in the workplace. Think about when a colleague comes to you with a problem. Instead of jumping in with your advice right away, just listen. Don't interrupt or start planning your response while they're talking. Just be fully present and attentive. This silence shows them you truly value what they're saying and respect their feelings. By listening without jumping in, you build a deeper level of trust. Your colleague will feel heard and understood, which strengthens your relationship. Plus, sometimes people just need to vent or talk through their thoughts without immediately getting advice. Your silence and attentiveness can be incredibly supportive, demonstrating that you're a trustworthy and respectful person. So, next time someone confides in you, remember to embrace the power of silence to build trust. 10. Encouraging inclusivity. Now, let's talk about encouraging inclusivity through silence. According to Stoic principles, silence isn't just about not talking, it's about creating a space where others feel heard and valued. Picture a team discussion. Often, the loudest voices dominate the conversation, but that doesn't mean they have the best ideas. As a leader or team member, use silence to your advantage. Instead of jumping in with your thoughts right away, hold back and make a conscious effort to invite quieter team members to share their opinions. For example, you could say, "Hey, we haven't heard from quiet team member yet. What are your thoughts on this?" This simple act shows that you value everyone's input and encourages a more inclusive environment. By not dominating the conversation, you help create a space where all voices can be heard, leading to more diverse and innovative ideas. Silence, in this context, isn't just the absence of your voice, it's the presence of others' voices. It shows respect and fosters a team culture where everyone feels valued and included. So next time you're in a discussion, remember to use silence to uplift others and promote inclusivity. 11. Handling criticism with grace. Let's talk about handling criticism with grace. According to Stoic principles, silence can be your best tool for processing feedback thoughtfully. Imagine you're in a meeting and a colleague criticizes your work. Your first instinct might be to defend yourself or explain why they're wrong, but instead of reacting immediately, take a moment of silence. This pause gives you time to process their feedback without letting emotions take over. For example, if someone says, "I think your approach to this project is off," resist the urge to snap back. Stay silent for a few seconds, breathe, and reflect on their words. Then respond calmly with something like, "I appreciate your feedback. Can you help me understand what specifically you think could be improved?" This shows that you're open to constructive criticism and willing to learn and improve. Using silence in this way not only helps you handle criticism more gracefully, but also shows maturity and self-control. It demonstrates that you're focused on growth and improvement rather than getting defensive. So, next time you're faced with criticism, remember to use a moment of silence to collect your thoughts and respond with grace. 12. Enhancing creativity. Let's dive into how silence can boost your creativity. According to Stoic principles, giving yourself space for silent reflection can spark innovative thinking. Picture a brainstorming session at work. Ideas are flying around and everyone's talking over each other. It's easy to get lost in the noise. But if you take a moment of silence to really think about what's being said, you can come up with more creative solutions. For example, when your team is stuck on a problem, suggest a few minutes of quiet reflection. During this time, you might come up with an idea that no one else considered because they were too busy talking. Silence helps you connect the dots in your mind and see things from a different perspective. By incorporating silent pauses in brainstorming sessions, you allow yourself and your team to dig deeper into your thoughts. This leads to more thoughtful and innovative approaches to problem solving. So next time you're in a creative rut, remember that a little silence can go a long way in enhancing your creativity. 30. Leading by example. Let's talk about how you can lead by example using the power of silence. The Stoics teach us that silence is a powerful tool, especially for leaders. Imagine you're leading a team meeting. Instead of dominating the conversation, you listen more than you speak. This shows your team that you value their input and encourages thoughtful communication. By listening carefully to everyone's ideas before sharing your own, you set a tone of respect and inclusivity. For example, when your team is discussing a new project, take the time to hear everyone out. Nod, make eye contact, and show you're engaged without interrupting. When you do share your thoughts, your team will see that you've considered all perspectives. This not only earns their respect, but also fosters a more collaborative and respectful work environment. By modeling the power of silence, you teach your team the importance of listening and thoughtful communication. It helps build a culture where everyone feels heard and valued, which leads to better teamwork and more innovative solutions. So, as a leader, remember that sometimes the best way to guide is through the quiet power of listening. Recap. Throughout this video, we've explored the profound power of silence, a concept deeply rooted in Stoicism. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's a powerful tool for communication and influence. We've discussed how speaking less can enhance your ability to be a thoughtful communicator, an observant listener, and remain calm under pressure. We've seen how non-verbal communication, deep thinking, respectful presence, strategic speech, self-control, perceptive observation, and trustworthiness can profoundly impact your personal and professional life. By understanding and embracing these traits, you can navigate the complexities of the workplace with greater ease, foster better relationships, and create a more respectful and collaborative environment. The power of silence is not just in what is left unsaid, but in the thoughtful, impactful words that are chosen. Now it's your turn. Try incorporating these practices into your daily life and observe the difference they make. Whether it's during a meeting, a conflict, or a brainstorming session, practice the power of silence and see how it transforms your interactions and enhances your influence. Share your experiences in the comments below. How has the power of silence impacted your life? We'd love to hear your stories and insights. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insights on Stoicism and personal development. Until next time, remember, sometimes the most powerful words are the ones left unsaid.